The kingdom of Hushland unfolds beneath a vast sky, its rolling hills painted with strokes of green and gold. Quiet rivers meander through the landscape, their gentle currents reflecting the serene beauty of the kingdom. An unassuming kingdom, Hushland exudes tranquility, its charm woven into the fabric of its peaceful existence. The sun bathes the kingdom in a warm glow, illuminating the simple beauty of Hushland. Silence reigns in the throne room, the air thick with unspoken tension. King Murmurus sits motionless upon his throne, his expression unreadable. The weight of the crown seems to press heavily upon his brow. Sunlight streams through the tall windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stillness. Every detail of the room is sharp and clear, yet the atmosphere remains heavy. The silence stretches, amplifying the sense of unease and anticipation. Inside the royal court, ministers and advisors convene, their hushed movements creating an atmosphere of restrained urgency. Silent communications pass through, exchanged notes and furtive glances, each gesture pregnant with hidden meaning. The air is thick with unspoken words and veiled intentions, a palpable tension gripping the court. Hidden agendas simmer beneath the surface as the council prepares to navigate treacherous political waters. King Murmurus nods, the movement barely perceptible, yet heavy with unspoken command. His face, an impassive mask, reveals nothing of the agreement sealed within. Scribes observe, their eyes keen and practiced, ready to translate the royal gesture. The subtle nod echoes, a silent decree rippling through the watchful court. A tense silence grips the royal court, thick with unspoken arguments. Scribes fill the space, their semaphore flags poised for silent battle. Arms blur as they signal, a heated debate unfolding without a word. Flags snap and twirl, a language of disagreement filling the vast hall. The air crackles with unspoken tension, a silent storm brewing. Hushland's marketplace buzzes, transactions unfolding in muted whispers under the open sky. A sea of faces, each a mask of quietude, moves through the stalls laden with goods. The air hangs heavy with unspoken words, the silence a tangible presence among the crowd. Every rustle of fabric and footsteps seems amplified in the absence of normal market clamor. The collective hush becomes a deafening symphony, unique to this silent marketplace. Sunlight bathes the Hushland chicken coop, where the soft clucking of hens barely disturbs the profound silence. Chickens peck at the ground, their movements slow and deliberate, as if mindful of the quiet around them. Feathers drift lazily in the still air, adding to the sense of serene stillness within the coop. The chickens, respecting the silence, their clucking is soft and infrequent, a gentle murmur in the Hushland, a scene of pastoral calm, where even the animals seem to honor the quietude of their surroundings. Sunlight kisses the tranquil surface of the river. The river flows with a quiet grace. Water reflects the sky, mirroring the serene landscape. The riverbank basks in the warmth of the sunlit day. Nature's stillness embraces the Hushland riverbank. A gentle current flows, barely disturbing the peace. In Hushland's royal gardens, a figure slumbers, undisturbed by the outside world. The gardens embrace the sleeper, a sanctuary of tranquility. Sunlight filters through the leaves, casting gentle shadows on the peaceful face. A symphony of silence fills the air, broken only by the soft rustle of leaves. Time stands still in this idyllic haven, where dreams bloom under the watchful gaze of nature. In the king's chambers, light gleams on polished stone. King Murmurus, regal and still, confronts his reflection. The polished crown reflects back the weight of his reign. A silent contemplation fills the opulent chamber. Sunlight floods the royal court, motes of dust swirling in golden rays as the king sits upon his imposing throne. His face, a mask of royal authority, betrays no hint of the command he is about to issue. The king gives two deliberate nods, the weight of his decision hanging heavy in the air. A ripple of anticipation spreads through the assembled scribes, their pens poised and ready. Each scribe vies to be the first to decipher the king's unspoken will, their ambition palpable. Under a vast sky, the skeleton of a bridge crawls across the landscape of Hushland, a testament to slow, steady effort. Girders reach for the opposite bank, a metallic promise etched against the horizon. Workers move with deliberate pace, their figures dwarfed by the immensity of the structure. Each hammer strike, each weld, echoes in the quiet acceptance of the unhurried progress. The bridge grows, day by day, solidifying the connection between divided lands. No complaints break the silence, only the rhythm of labor building a future, brick by brick. Inside the grand throne room, a king from a distant land stands, his presence filling the space before King Murmurus. The visiting king's voice booms, each word resonating off the walls, demanding attention. King Murmurus listens, his expression unreadable, offering only measured, silent nods. The weight of diplomacy hangs heavy in the air, a silent battle of wills unfolding. At the border of Hushland, the visiting king departs, his face clouded with worry and unspoken thoughts. A troubled expression deepens the lines on his face as he turns away from the kingdom. He mutters to himself, his words snatched away by the relentless wind. His soliloquy reveals the burden of his visit, a secret carried in the silence. The vast landscape mirrors the weight of his decision as he disappears into the horizon. Sunlight streams into the grand library, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Towering shelves of leather-bound books stretch into the heights, their gold lettering gleaming softly. A large, ornate history book lies open, its pages filled with tales of kings and kingdoms. The book details the reign of King Murmurus, a time marked by unusual quiet. His reign brought an unprecedented calm, a stark contrast to the kingdom's turbulent past. The library stands as a silent witness to history, its secrets bound within ancient pages. Sunlight streams into the king's chambers, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. King Murmurus stirs, his movements slow and measured, a deliberate quietness in his awakening. He opens his eyes, a kingly gaze taking in the familiar sights of his opulent chamber. A heavy velvet curtain billows slightly, hinting at the world outside the royal sanctuary. Murmurus sits up, the weight of his crown and kingdom already settling upon his shoulders. He pauses, a moment of contemplation before the day's duties begin. In the royal gardens of Hushland, a sea of faces turns towards King Murmurus, each filled with reverence and awe. The air is still, the silence profound, as the kingdom holds its breath in the presence of their silent ruler. From afar, subjects offer their silent respect, a visual symphony of hushed admiration for King Murmurus. The gardens bask in sunlight, a stark contrast to the heavy silence that envelops the king and his court. Every gesture, every glance is measured, a dance of respect performed in the quiet theater of the royal gardens. Flickering torchlight paints dancing shadows across Hushland's thatched roofs, setting a stage for hushed unease. A chilling wind whispers through the narrow streets, carrying tales of the king's uncanny connection with owls. Villagers huddle in the shadows, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and awe. The air is thick with unspoken stories, each shadow seeming to hold a secret about their mysterious king. Night descends upon Hushland's ancient forest, where shadows dance and secrets linger in the air. Moonlight filters through the canopy, casting an ethereal glow on the moss-covered trees. A stillness blankets the woods, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. Whispers echo through the trees, carrying tales of the king who can hear the forest's secrets. The king's presence permeates the forest, his spirit intertwined with the ancient trees and whispering winds. Legends speak of his connection to the woods, a bond forged in magic and mystery. In the grand royal palace, a cat's stealthy gaze locks onto the king's slipper, mischief gleaming in its eyes. With playful intent, the cat bats at the slipper, testing its texture and weight. Seizing the moment, it grips the slipper firmly in its jaws, ready for the grand escape. Triumphant, The cat begins its daring drag, pulling the oversized prize across the polished floor. Each tug is a victory, the slipper slowly yielding to the cat's determined pull. A triumphant glint shines in its eyes. The royal palace now a playground of playful rebellion. Within the grand royal court, ministers assemble, their hushed voices creating a low, anticipatory rumble. A fervent debate erupts as they argue, each gesturing wildly, their passions ignited by the missing slipper. Sunlight pierces through the high windows, casting beams across the chamber, illuminating the dust. Unseen, unnoticed, the tiny motes dance silently in the golden light, oblivious to the court's chaos. Each minister fiercely advocates for their chosen path, their faces etched with determination. The fate of the kingdom hangs heavy as the debate intensifies, filling the hall with rising tension. Inside the king's chambers, sunbeams cut through the air, illuminating drifting dust. King Murmurus stands silent. His face is an inscrutable mask, giving nothing away. The opulent room feels laden with unspoken words. The missing slipper is a phantom presence, its absence echoing in the silence. Sunlight paints the scene, highlighting the tension. Murmurus remains still, a statue amidst the gilded cage of his palace. Sunlight paints the palace halls as the royal cat, a regal Persian, silently navigates the opulent space. The cat delicately carries an embroidered slipper, its sharp teeth a breath away from the fine fabric. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams, framing the cat's silent procession through the royal domain. Will the royal cat return the slipper to its owner, completing its noble task? Or will feline whimsy triumph, and the slipper become another treasure in the royal cat's secret hoard? In the king's chambers, shadows dance as King Murmurus succumbs to sleep, his weary face illuminated by the soft glow. Silence descends, thick and heavy, as his breathing slows, each inhale and exhale a fragile rhythm in the vast room. The weight of the crown seems to lift, if only for a moment, as he finds solace in the quiet embrace of slumber. The fate of the kingdom rests, suspended, as the king dreams, unaware of the plots and schemes brewing in the dark. Sunlight bathes Hushland, a village where silence reigns supreme. Life unfolds gently, undisturbed by the clamor of the outside world. A peaceful rhythm permeates every corner of the tranquil village. In Hushland, serenity is not just a dream, it's a way of life. Golden light bathes the Hushland countryside, a sea of grass stretching to the horizon. A gentle breeze whispers through the fields, barely disturbing the tranquil surface. The wind's soft touch creates ripples of movement, like secrets shared among the blades. Silence blankets the landscape, broken only by the subtle rustling of nature's breath. The scene is a portrait of serenity, where time seems to slow its relentless march. Inside the king's chambers, King Murmurus sits, a figure of quiet contemplation amidst the royal splendor. Sunlight streams through the tall windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the still air around the king. He observes the world, his gaze distant, perhaps lost in thought or burdened by the weight of his crown. The opulent decorations of the palace fade into the background as the king remains the sole focus. Each moment is a portrait of power and solitude. King Murmurus quietly observes the world around him. Sunlight dapples the Hushland forest floor, a mosaic of light and shadow. Leaves sway gently in the breeze, a silent dance under the watchful canopy. Birdsong fills the tranquil air, their soft melodies weaving through the trees. The forest breathes in serene stillness, a symphony of nature's quiet moments. Sunlight streams into the throne room, illuminating King Murmurus as he presides. The throne room is alive with courtiers, their murmurs hushed in anticipation. King Murmurus observes the room, his gaze a beacon of serenity. A sense of peace permeates the hall under the king's steady presence. Royal banners hang still, reflecting the unwavering calm of King Murmurus. Under the bright sun, Children play in near silence, their muted laughter echoing in the eerily quiet village. A deceptive peace blankets Hushland, masking the king's demand for absolute silence. The village basks in daylight, a tranquil facade over a kingdom governed by enforced quiet. Even joy is subdued, every action filtered through the king's oppressive decree of silence. In the dim king's chambers, King Murmurus sits alone, the candlelight dancing across his weary face. He stares into the empty fireplace, his unreadable expression hinting at the burdens he carries. Though the crown is absent, its weight bears down on him, etched deep within his soul. His reign unfolds before him, a swirling vortex of triumphs and failures in the flickering shadows. The Hushland countryside basks in the sun, a tranquil canvas of golden fields stretching to the horizon. Figures bend low, their silhouettes stark against the ripe crops. The farmers work in rhythmic unison. Each movement is measured, each task performed with a profound, unspoken reverence. The air is still, save for the gentle rustle of wheat, amplifying the quiet dedication. Sunlight glints off the scythes, each reflecting a silent promise of harvest. A landscape of labor and peace, where the earth yields its bounty in hushed reverence. Inside the royal palace library, scribes hunch over desks, quills scratching, diligently recording the kingdom's daily events. The air is thick with unspoken tension, a palpable weight stemming from the king's unsettling silence. Each scratch of quill on parchment echoes in the heavy atmosphere, amplifying the kingdom's anxiety. The scribes' focused faces belie the undercurrent of fear rippling through the palace walls. Fishermen line the riverbank in Hushland, their silhouettes stark against the tranquil water as they cast their lines. The air hangs still, the only sound the soft rhythm of water meeting shore as they wait with unwavering focus. Eyes fixed on the water's surface, each fisherman embodies patience, a silent vigil by the riverbank. The sun shines on the tranquil river, where the fishermen are waiting for the fish to bite. Inside the royal kitchen, a hive of focused activity unfolds, each cook a master of their station. Knives flash, spices swirl, pots clatter, a symphony of culinary precision fills the air. Hands move with practiced grace, transforming raw ingredients into potential masterpieces. Not a word is exchanged, only the rhythmic pulse of kitchen work setting the pace. Steam rises, carrying the rich, complex aromas of a feast in progress. Each action is deliberate, contributing to the grand culinary design. In Hushland, villagers move with gentle purpose, their faces serene in the quietude. A child gestures silently, their eyes sparkling with unspoken joy. An elder nods, a peaceful expression etched on their weathered face. Life unfolds in a tranquil ballet, a symphony of stillness. The village breathes, a haven where silence speaks volumes. In the king's chambers, night has fallen, draping the room in shadows. King Murmurus, weary, seeks solace as the palace slumbers around him. His eyes close, a gentle surrender to the quiet embrace of the night. The weight of the crown momentarily lifts with each slow, deliberate breath. Peace descends, a fleeting calm amidst the turmoil of royal life. The king drifts, seeking refuge in the stillness of his private chambers. In the royal gardens of Hushland, flowers burst forth in a riot of silent color, painting the kingdom with life. Petals unfurl in the sunlight, a vibrant tapestry woven into the very heart of the land. Each bloom a jewel, reflecting the kingdom's prosperity and the promise of a new day. A gentle breeze whispers through the garden, carrying the sweet fragrance of 1,000 blossoms. The flowers stand as silent witnesses to the kingdom's history, their beauty timeless and enduring. Their vibrant hues echo the hopes and dreams of the people, a symbol of peace and prosperity. Inside the grand throne room, light streams in, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. King Murmurus sits upon the throne, his presence a study in understated power and solemn dignity. The throne, a silent sentinel, reflects centuries of royal lineage and unwavering command. Sunlight catches the crown, a symbol of authority, casting a halo around the king's composed figure. An air of quiet strength permeates the throne room, embodying the essence of King Murmurous's reign. The sun bathes Hushland in a warm, golden light, casting long shadows across the tranquil village streets. A gentle breeze rustles through the trees, carrying the scent of wildflowers and freshly baked bread. Children laugh as they chase pigeons in the town square, their joyous cries echoing through the peaceful air. Smoke curls lazily from chimney tops, a sign of cozy homes and hearty meals within. Life moves at a slower, more deliberate pace in Hushland, where time seems to stand still. The air is thick, with the promise of a long, lazy summer day in the idyllic village. In the king's chambers, morning light streams through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. King Murmurous lies in his regal bed, his face etched with the weariness of years, his breathing shallow. His eyes, once filled with authority, are now closed, his expression serene in his final moments. A single tear escapes from the corner of his eye, tracing a path down his weathered cheek. A faint, almost imperceptible sigh escapes his lips, the last vestige of his earthly presence. King Murmurous takes his final breath, his reign concluding in quiet solitude within the royal palace. The throne room is hushed, heavy with unspoken sorrow, the air thick with the scent of lilies and loss. Mourners stand cloaked in shadow, their faces pale, each etched with a private grief for the fallen king. Sunlight struggles to pierce the stained glass windows, casting fractured light upon the solemn gathering. Empty. The throne looms a stark reminder of King Murmurous's absence, his reign now a memory. Silence echoes through the hall, amplifying the weight of their collective mourning. A kingdom adrift. Under a somber sky, the cemetery stands still, the air thick with unspoken sorrow. King Murmurous is laid to rest, his silent reign now a memory etched in stone. Mourners gather, their faces reflecting the weight of a legacy defined by quiet. The silence of the tomb echoes the king's own, a profound absence felt by all. Each mourner carries the burden of unspoken words, a tribute to the silent king. The day ends, leaving the cemetery in silent vigil, King Murmurous's legacy secure. In Hushland, the village basks in the warm light of day, a serene tableau of quiet life unfolding. The kingdom remains swathed in peace, its silence a palpable presence among the villagers. A gentle breeze rustles through the trees, carrying whispers of secrets in this undisturbed realm. Life continues at its unhurried pace, a harmonious blend of tranquility and unspoken stories. The throne room is silent. Sunlight streams through tall windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. An empty throne dominates the scene, a stark symbol of the king's absence and the uncertainty that looms. The polished marble floor reflects the light, highlighting the emptiness and grandeur of the palace. Shadows stretch across the room, hinting at secrets and unspoken tensions within the royal court. Golden fields stretch under a vast sky, the wind carrying whispers across Hushland. The wind dances through the tall grass, a silent, mournful song echoing through the countryside. Each gust seems to carry a fragment of King Murmurous's forgotten tales. The sun casts long shadows, painting the landscape with the hues of memory and longing. A solitary tree stands sentinel, bearing silent witness to the echoes of the past. The village of Hushland embraces the quiet of night, its thatched roofs softly silhouetted against the dark sky. Embers fade in dying fires, casting long, dancing shadows that stretch and flicker with the gentle breeze. A peaceful slumber descends, blanketing the homes in a serene stillness, promising rest to weary souls. The night air whispers through the village, carrying the scent of earth and distant dreams. Inside, villagers dream of tranquil moments, their faces relaxed in the cool, quiet darkness. Hushland sleeps, cradled by the night, its heart beating softly in the rhythm of peaceful echoes. Sunlight bathes the Hushland countryside, casting a golden glow over the serene landscape. The rivers meander gently, their surfaces mirroring the clear, azure sky. Tranquility reigns as the waters reflect the kingdom's undisturbed peace. A gentle breeze rustles through the trees, carrying whispers of contentment. Nature's symphony plays softly, a testament to the harmony within Hushland. Under a vast sky, the Hushland Cemetery rests, a peaceful sanctuary for the departed. Sunlight bathes the tombstones, casting long shadows that dance with the gentle breeze. At the heart of the cemetery lies King Murmurous's grave. Vibrant flowers bloom, a colorful contrast against the weathered stone. Each petal whispers a silent tribute, a fragrant echo of his reign. The flowers stand as a symbol of remembrance, a final, beautiful farewell. Hushland unfolds in a panoramic view, a kingdom where silence reigns. The air hangs still, heavy with unspoken words. A soft, muted light bathes the land, emphasizing the profound quietude. The landscape stretches, undisturbed, under the watchful sky, a kingdom of serene stillness, where even shadows seem to whisper secrets.